Welcome, everyone. I am Gina. Welcome to Acting Up with Gina. This is my bonus episode. If you're new here, you know I'm doing a I've done a six-part episode journey of my acting journey.
Yeah.
And it's been such a well received that I decided I would have some guests with join me. And so I am here today with one of my sorority sisters, my friend,
Yes.
and you'll never believe what her name is. It is Gina Nicole Brown.
It
Uh-huh.
is.
I said it because that's my name too. The only difference in our names is I spell Nicole with an H. My mother was fancy. And so
Yes.
Nichole. Can you believe it? That's so crazy. So welcome, Gina Nicole Brown, to Acting Up with Gina.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Like, yeah. And to do it with my name twin and my soror. Are you kidding?
Right, that's right. That's right. So let's talk about how we met, because I think that's a really interesting story and it makes sense for this platform that we're using and what we're talking, this topic that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So I was laying in bed watching TV as I usually do with my husband. And I'm listening to, I think, a promo, or maybe it was the actual show for the upcoming show of Sherry Shepherd. And she was doing a contest about women over a certain age who were comedians and they were competing for a spot, right? I'm getting
Yes.
this right. They were
Yeah.
competing for a spot with her to be on the show, to be on her comedy show later on. But I'm listening. I've just got my listening ears on because I've got my phone in my hand. And they were like, and our next person that's going to be up tomorrow is Gina Nicole Brown.
You're like,
Right?
I am?
And I said to my husband, I said to Steve, I'm like, I'm funny, but I'm not that funny. Like, there's no way in the world. I was like, I'm not hiding anything from you. And we saw this pretty face show up on the screen, and I immediately reached out,
Yeah.
immediately, because how crazy
I
was
know.
the name similarity for one.
Yeah.
And then I go on her page and I see she's an AKA. Y'all, what?
I know. Like, I think we had mutuals. That was the thing, right?
We had mutuals. But like it was just so crazy. And so she graciously invited myself, Steve, a few other people to the show, but then it got twisted around with some tickets, which was fine because we met you at your hotel instead.
You
And
did, I
right?
know.
And
Yeah, apparently I had invited too many people, and even, they hadn't given me a limit initially. I think they didn't
mhm,
realize I knew a
right,
few people.
right.
And so they were like, it's going to seem a little off balance. So, and I was like, okay. But you did. You met me at the hotel where they put me, and we had a drink, and it was just so nice,
I
so
think it
nice.
was better this way because it was
Yeah.
more intimate. We got to chat as long as we wanted to, and then we were
Yeah.
able to go home and see you on TV. So I think that
Yeah, whatever. But yeah,
that
no, it
was
was
like
great.
perfect to be able to
Yeah.
do it that way.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit what made you get into acting. What do you talk about
Yeah. I fell into it. So, yeah, I had a whole other life for like 30 years. I have an MBA, so I was doing other things. And I had, before I stopped working in the corporate space, I did start doing stand up, but I was still older. I mean, I started stand up at 46,
it?
which is,
Wow.
yeah, and I was out doing it late with all the youngins, and they're like, "You want to go hit another mic?" And I'm like, "Okay." So exhausted. I mean, I had a kid. I had
Right,
kids, not
right,
just okay,
right.
kids. Um, but it was probably the foray into uh me doing some sort of acting. So I was doing that, and then I had I don't know, I guess I somebody asked me, oh, a younger cousin of mine was in college and
Mm,
asked me if I could play a role in something. it was something that she'd written. I was like, oh yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm
Right,
not,
right.
I had never done any, so I was
Mm,
like, okay. So I did it, and then I got a little bit of a bug, but
yeah,
I was like, well, I don't know.
right.
And then I submitted for something for BuzzFeed,
Mm-hmm.
and this Black Moms contest, and um, macaroni. I had to make macaroni, cheese, and fried chicken, whatever. It doesn't really
Right,
matter.
right.
But the point is, I did win. But I was like, whoa, this
Yeah.
is. I kind of have a little, but that again still wasn't really acting. But
Right.
then, shortly after that, I was laid off from my job, which I had been at for a really long time. And I
Wow.
thought, you know what? I wonder if I can do something in the creative space
Sure.
while, and still support the girls. I'm divorced mom, like the whole deal, right?
Sure,
So
sure.
I started submitting, I got headshots and I started submitting for some things, and somehow or another, like right out of the gate, and it's just one of those things.
Love
I
it.
landed a PSA, a commercial in New York, and and I say that because I live near DC in
All
Maryland.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So, and it turned out that it was running, and the billboard for it was in Times Square. So here I am, like right out of the gate, like on this
Right.
commercial all over New
Yeah.
York, and it was just really surreal, and just I don't know, it's just nuts. But and then I just started to do more and more. And that's really, it came, I will say, came out of really being laid off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm gonna try this because I
This
don't want
next
to ever
chapter.
say
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't try.
Right.
And yeah, and that's how it started.
So let's just go back a little bit though. Let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about Sherry Shepherd and that whole situation. How
Yeah.
did you find yourself there? Like
Yeah.
how
So
did you land there?
yeah. Well, that I actually got a call. I did oh, I know. It was one of my sorors who
Hmm.
said she watched the show, and she sent me a link, and she's like, you should submit for this. I was like, oh girl, because you know how your friends always think you're something, right? And I
Absolutely.
love that, and I appreciate them. But I was like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've seen other people who are really,
Right, right,
so,
right.
but sure, okay. So on a like random whim, I was like, I'll just answer the questions, right? So I'd answered the questions and filled it out. And one day, like my phone rang, and it literally said, like, Sherry Shepherd show. And
No way.
I was like, I'm not, or the Sherry show. I think it said the Sherry show. And I was like, that seems really weird. And I was like, hello? Hello. Like I just thought, and so,
Right?
and I kept asking, it was a producer, but I kept asking her, like,
Are you
seriously, like
sure?
this
Right,
is
right,
this seems really weird, right?
right.
She's like, no, like I'm serious. And she's like, you're gonna get an email and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, no, this seems weird. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I was a finalist, and then or semi-finalist, I guess, and
Semi-finalist.
then became a finalist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
I
that's
love
how
that.
that happened. That literally was just me answering a few questions and forgetting about it. It's not
Right,
like I was
right.
like, I wonder why didn't they write me? I was like, because I don't expect to be. You know what I mean? Like I just submitted
Well,
it on a whim.
is that something as part of your practice when you self-submit, you submit and you let it go? Is
Submit
that
and let it go.
let it
Submit and let
go,
it go.
right?
Because
Same, same.
in the world that we're in this acting world, you
Mhm.
you are almost interviewing for a job every single day. Every time you submit, it's as if you're going to a different job interview every day. And so are 575
Right.
people who fit that same. So you submit and you go. Submit
Yep.
and go. Even if I
Same,
get
same.
a callback, I do the callback and I move on. Like
That's where I get stuck.
yeah, I know.
That's where I get stuck.
It's
I
hard.
can self-submit and forget. I'll just be
Yeah,
like, I'm done, I'm
yeah,
gone. But the minute I get the call back, I am stressing. I'm stressing about before the callback,
I
the
know.
during the callback, and after until I've gotten some type of, yes or no.
Yeah.
That's literally where I might start to spiral.
Yeah. And I
It's
think
tough, it's a tough
it
thing
is
because I'm
tough because
still
you're
so
like,
like in it,
yeah,
so overjoyed. Like I can't believe somebody's even thinking that what I'm doing is good enough for whatever project that they're working on?
yeah. And I think what happens is, and it takes time, is like sometimes even casting, they have an idea of what they
Hmm.
want, but sometimes they themselves don't even know what
Sure.
they're looking for. So you give them a take, right? And they're like, oh, I didn't think of that. That's interesting. Let me call Gina back. And you're
Mm.
like, you want me to come back and do it again? Right? So,
Right. Absolutely.
yeah, it's
Absolutely. Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your process like? Like I wake up in the morning, check casting networks, blah blah blah, self-submit. If I have to go do a self-tape, then I have a person that I work with.
Yeah.
Um, what's your process, to get from like beginning to end? What do you do?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I am balancing it with some other work that I do, but I actually end up doing sort of acting almost every day because I work with a number of hospitals and medical schools in the area. So I'm always portraying a patient of some sorts. I get a case, and whatever that case is for that day, I'm that person. So
Mm,
it just stays fresh. I also do some role playing in some other places down here. So
mm,
I'm not on a film set or commercial set all the time, but I work with a lot of other actors who also do this kind of work, and
okay.
which helps us stay steady, right? We're always doing something and we don't have to always fret about a call or a call
Right.
back or whatever, right?
Mhm.
But I have automatic messages from casting networks. I'm on a in a system, and it's just like
Mhm.
things might be good for you, and so I see all the things.
Yeah.
um People reach, I'm on a few, so people will reach out to me on backstage. I don't always like check, I forget about it a little bit, but casting comes to my email like daily.
Yeah.
And so, I look to see, and then, if it's something, I'll, hit submit if it makes sense,
Hmm.
um, and then just kind of move on, right? But because I've done a few different projects, I'm on some other lists. So I've had the opportunity to do commercials again for somebody who I've already done something with,
Oh,
like the
right. Yeah.
production team gets you and they're like, oh, we like working with so and so. So that I think is a part of it. I'm always thinking about what other things I can sort of do, but they're not they're in the creative space, but they're not always acting, right?
Okay.
It's just other kinds of things that I find intriguing.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, so that's my process. I do have a couple of agents, but one of my agents stopped working at the end of December, and um, I haven't reached out to another group to,
Hmm.
see. And then there's a commercial agent in New York, and every once in a while they'll reach out with something. But I have to say, I book most of my work. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
a lot of times people are like, "Oh, you must have a really good agent," or whatever.
Hmm.
I book most of my work. I'm hungrier for me than my
Sure.
agents are, because my agents are hungry for lots of people.
Lots of people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what made you think, did the agents reach out to you? Like what made you decide to get, because I joke about Steve being my manager
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
But in terms of an agent,
Yeah.
I don't have an agent. I've just
Yeah.
been doing this for almost close to 2 years now. And so what made you decide, okay, yes, I can go
Um,
with an agent for a bit, or, what was the thought process
yeah.
behind
So the
that?
one in New York, somebody I know had them as one of their agents, and I guess like he happened to see a picture of me, and he
Hmm.
was just like, oh, I feel like she could do, commercial work. And
Okay.
so there was the connection was made because the agent saw a picture of me. um the other one that just stopped doing the work, another somebody I did some work with on a project down here
Hmm.
used to work with her as it used to be his agent, and
Okay.
she used to be his agent, and he was like, I feel like you should have, an agent down here. Let me, connect you, kind of thing. So that's how that one happened. I think a lot of the times it does help if there's some kind of a referral sort of thing.
Hmm.
It can, I know some people are really odd about it because they're like, well, you and I would go for the same thing, so I don't
Right.
want but
Right. Right. Right.
what's
Right.
for me is for me.
What's
What's for
totally,
you is for
totally.
you, and I don't
Yeah.
I don't buy into that.
Right.
So,
Right.
um,
Right. I agree with you on that. When I took the acting class this summer, of course, I was the oldest person in the class,
yeah.
and the young people were so good. And they were like, we're never going for the same roles, Miss Gina. Like, it's all good. You know what I mean? We're
Sometimes,
never,
but sometimes you are like because you can play a wide range, you know what I mean? And so
sure,
there are
sure.
times when I don't generally submit for anything in the 30s, but a couple of years ago I would still submit for something that's in
Hmm.
mid to late 30s. And
Hmm.
I would be on set with people who are legitimately in the
30
mid
years
to
old.
late 30s. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you're not the same
Yeah.
age as me?
Yeah.
No, honey, I
But
am not.
let's talk about age. Let's
Yeah.
talk, let's talk
Yeah.
about age. How are you feeling, or how do you feel having come into this? Because, you know, I think for a while, a lot of us thought this was a young person's sport,
Yeah.
and so it's over the years that we've seen, older or more
Yeah.
seasoned um, actors and actresses getting in at a later time.
Yeah.
So how have you, what's your experience been with that?
Yeah, I think much like starting stand up at 46, I think it's the interesting thing is we get this wisdom in our 50s that we wish we had in
Totally.
our 20s or 30s,
Yeah.
but you can't have it then because you haven't lived long enough. So I think a part of it is that you're freer in your mind and you're like, I
Right.
don't see a reason why I can't try this. Other people might
Mhm.
see a reason why they think I can't do this, but
Right.
I don't see that same reason. So
Absolutely.
I think a part of it is just who I am
Hmm.
and I don't want to leave this earth having regrets or having I should have. I mean, there
Right.
of course there are some because could have tried this out years ago, but I'm of a generation that my parents were like, so you're going to go to school, you're going to do this,
Right.
you're going to get a job and you're going to be there and you're going to retire. Like this is what you learn, right?
Mhm.
Um so anyway, um, I don't, I know how old I am. I never lie about it. I'm very comfortable with it. I
Yes.
speak about it a lot because part of it is I don't want somebody else my age to think they can't do not just this, anything that they want
Anything.
to do.
Right.
What is it that you want to do? Oh,
Right.
honey, I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, can I get on the luge? I was
Right.
looking at the Olympics. I was just like, the luge people are a little bit older, but I
Right.
can lay on a
Right.
sled.
Right.
I could do that.
Right.
Come
Right.
on.
Absolutely. I am
Yeah, I'm just,
so with
so
you.
I
Yeah.
don't, I try not to, of course we have our own moments like, I just feel so old or whatever. But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I, I like going on set when clearly the casting was for seasoned people. When it's a
yeah,
bunch of us background and we're all, it's clear that
it's
that
nice.
and that, or when it's a mix
It's a
where you can
mix.
tell, like there are some young people, I swear to you, I find the sweetest people the people who have been just the kindest to me have been young Black men that could be
Yeah.
my son.
Yeah, and they take care
They,
of you.
oh
Yeah.
my
What do
goodness,
you need? Yeah. No, I
they have been the
know.
sweetest and these, and I just think it's like it's so endearing and
It's
it's so
beautiful.
charm and it really is just because you hear
Yeah.
things, and my experience is 90% of the time it really has just been like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Like
and
it's
I
amazing.
I agree with you. And we're both moms of Gen Z. you
Yeah,
know,
go ahead.
and I work with a lot of Gen Z, millennials too, but I work with a lot of Gen Zs, and the people who are now creating a lot of
Hmm.
the new things are younger. They're,
Yeah.
but they think about, well, who was in my life? I just did something, and he told me that his inspiration was his mother. And
Yeah.
he saw this person playing, the role like in that way, just this sort
Hmm.
of, I don't know,
Maternal.
kind of gentle but
Hmm.
seasoned individual. And
Yeah.
that's why he put me in there. But so I
Hmm.
think that I appreciate it, and I don't want to be the kind of person that's like, oh, those young people,
Right,
you
right,
know, because they're not. First of all, you sound like you're old grandpa, but
right.
they're not always like that, right? They're
No,
not, and
no.
we can also be just as grumpy,
Right,
right? So
right.
I don't put
Right.
that on a generation.
No.
Um,
Yeah, no, I
Sometimes
appreciate
I put on a generation, I don't know what you're talking about because you
it.
speak different language. That I do, right?
Right.
Like, what did you just say? Right?
Exactly, exactly.
But not the other stuff.
So
Mm-mm.
if you had to give someone some advice,
Yeah,
someone our age, you're at a chapter meeting and,
yeah.
someone comes up to you and says, how do I get started? What do you think? How should I move in this? And like, what would you be your words of advice, encouragement, all the things?
Well, I always tell people to observe, right? So I always say first, look at somebody who's doing something that you want to do, right? And just sort of see how they're stepping into it. You don't want to be like a bull in a china shop and
Right.
think because every industry, not just this, every industry has its own unique ways about it, right? So
Mhm.
kind of watch, don't sit back, don't not start to put the steps in motion, but just
Right.
kind of see, oh, that's what they're doing. Ask questions. And if
Mhm.
somebody doesn't want to answer, they're going to say, yeah,
Right.
I'm not giving you all my goodness. But,
Right.
but I think we can generally feel the energy from good people, right? And good people want to support and help
Yeah.
other good people. And
Yeah.
that's who you want to surround yourself with, right?
I
So
agree.
I asked a fair amount of questions, but I will say I also just do my own research. I'm a Capricorn. So I always do my own research. I usually have the answer
Mhm.
before you give it to me.
Right.
I'm just double checking. But
Right.
yeah, like I do your own research, read,
Hmm.
start reading scripts,
Hmm.
find them wherever there's scripts out there that you can read just to kind of get an idea. Oh, this is what it's like. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You know
Yeah.
how when you weren't in the business, you're looking at something, you're like, I don't know why they did that. That just seems so. I wouldn't have done it that way.
I
What you
wouldn't
don't know is there's a backstory. Every
Sure.
character has one, and you're not seeing the script. You're not there with the director saying, this is, I know you want to do this, but I need you to do this. So
Hmm.
read, observe, and then, yeah, just start to get your ducks in a row. There's a lot of things you can do without having the formal sort of headshots and sort of
Hmm.
full on resume because you have yet to do things. There's tons of student films. They
Yes.
always need people.
Always.
And I mean, I've been paid in bagels. But here's the thing, those students will graduate
Right.
and they
And
are
they'll
going to
remember.
remember
Absolutely.
who worked on this, and I want to go back to that person and use them. So
I
don't,
just did something for credit only. It was just for
yeah,
credit, but it was fine. I thought it
yeah,
was because I liked the subject.
yeah.
I thought it was great. So I was like, I'm in. So
Yeah, and I think for creative, I mean, now I don't do as much without pay, but I might
mhm,
help a student out here or there. But
mhm,
largely, there's some things that if I think that there's a road down the way, I
mhm.
might, but you have to really love it and love what you're doing because generally, like, ask yourself the question, if I could do anything, regardless of how much I get paid, would
Mhm.
I do it?
What I do it.
And sure, you want to get paid, right?
Right.
But
Right.
and the opposite could be true. You could pay me many, many, many dollars and I still
Mhm.
wouldn't do X, right?
Right. So,
So I think as long as you're loving it, and I mean every opportunity for me, I'm just grateful. I try to walk around with an attitude of gratitude. Um, and I just try to because they could have picked they could have picked the other Gina.
right. Yes, I get right. You're right. Yes, same thing. Right. I agree. Yes. So, what do you have going on? Where can we find you? What's next? Are you still doing comedy? Talk to us about your projects.
Yeah, so I don't do a lot of stand up these days. Every once in a while, I'll do something if somebody asks, more of a private function. I think we evolve,
Yeah.
and I did stand up for about 12 years, so like
Wow.
I'm good. I'm not saying that I won't ever, but I
Right.
still love the art, and I like it's one of the hardest things I've ever done is stand up.
Mm-hmm.
It's so vulnerable, and of course, you're not so funny. The other person's so funny, and
Uh,
you will never, and it's just you have to take it like and you just stand
mhm.
there and take it. But yeah, I'll do some certain kinds of projects like that every once in a while, but largely, um, I definitely am doing some films. I'm in something that's like sort of quiet right now. Just it's some piloted kind of a thing that we're shooting. And so we'll see, when that can go sort of, when an episode or two or whatever is ready to go public. But I'm probably more of the commercial person. I do a fair amount of films down here.
Mm.
I did just shoot something a couple weeks ago. So we'll see if it comes. It's part of a Coca-Cola refreshing film. It's part of a contest.
Oh,
There were
wow.
these finalists, in they offer it to schools and students, either an undergraduate or graduate. It's paid, so don't sleep.
Wonderful. Yeah.
But so um,
Right.
and I think it's down to the final three, and so we'll see. And if that comes to be, you might see. I was in it, but
Mhm.
let's just see if it airs.
Yes, yes, yes,
But
yes.
either way, the product will be completed, and I'm sure they'll share it, and I can share
Right.
it and whatnot.
Yeah, with this one.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember. I
Any
think.
plays? Do you do plays?
Oh yeah, I do plays. I am. Last year I did a play called Gay Soul Food. So there is a writer and a director, a production company down here, and he takes like Waiting to Exhale, and so he's got the boys to Waiting to Exhale version, like,
Okay.
and he makes it gay. And so
Mhm.
I was the Gigi in the Gay Soul Food. I was the grandma, and I did that last year, but it's actually going to go on the road, and we're
Ooh,
doing it in Chicago in August. So
nice.
yeah, like
Wonderful.
sometimes I forget like what's
Yeah,
to
that's
come, right?
big.
Um,
Yeah.
but
I love
yeah,
that for
like
you.
so I do,
Congratulations.
yeah, lots of different things. I have a lot of other things on the thing, but it's some of it's acting and some of it's teaching and other things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I love that for you. I love that. So tell everyone where they can find you, your socials, whatever it is you want to share,
Yeah.
follow. Thank you for being on Gina's, acting
Oh, I
out
love
with
you.
Gina.
You're such an energy, and it's so beautiful, and I
Thank
every time
you.
I see your face, it's just you light up. I mean, I'm sure you have your bad days, but you do not display them ever online, and you're just a very bright spot, and I love that energy, and you can feel it.
Thank
So thank you for having me come on.
No,
I
listen.
I
Thank
am easily found on Instagram at Gina Nicole Brown, no H. And I didn't need the extra
you
fancy
didn't need the
H.
age.
That's so extra. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think I'm on Gina Nicole Brown pretty much like everywhere. I mean, I'm not, I have to admit, I'll put out things occasionally, but I'm less active than I was just
Mm,
even a couple of years ago, a year or two
okay.
ago. Things are just, there's just a
Things are
lot out
changing.
there. Yeah, and I've just, I maybe have pulled back a little, but also
Mm.
I've just been busy um, doing some other things. Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah, but I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on the things, and
all
so
the things, all the
yeah,
things.
happy to connect.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time out. It's we've been
Yeah,
trying to get this together, so it was
I
really,
know. I'm so
a
glad we
good thing.
did.
And I'm so happy that folks are appreciating my acting journey at my age and
I
just me
love it.
sharing all the things that I've been experiencing. It's been a great ride. I love it. I do.
I do
I
too.
love, it's long days. I've said this before, but it just is. I'm already like, when's the next one? When's the next one? When's the
Yeah.
next one? Even with just doing these self tapes, I said to Steve today, I was like, it's almost 2 weeks I haven't done a self tape. I haven't gotten anything to request a self tape.
And I do
Like,
them right here. I forgot you'd asked about process and you
yeah,
said you step out. I don't step out.
mhm,
I've got a screen, I've got lights. I just do it
yeah.
here and Jeff
I
is,
have to
I'll
work
just
on
make
that.
Jeff as my partner and like he'll read.
Right, right,
He's been
right.
like a
He'll be a
kid.
reader.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
been a kid, he's been a woman, he's been everything he needs to be. He just reads, you know?
Listen, I love it. I saw something on TikTok the other day that said, when your reader knows his part better than
Yeah.
than you think.
How
It's like, I've
about
been
that?
reading this. I know what it is. I
I
don't need to
know.
look at the sides. I
It's
got
like, I think you were supposed to have an inflection there.
it.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, well, Gina, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
folks, listen, any questions, put them in the comments. Whatever
Yeah.
you have for both of us.
Or reach
We'll
out. Like I'm
share.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Okay.